Say hello.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Ross Connolly and welcome to my Course 5 project. I teach at the American International School, Chennai in southern India. I'm a middle school EAL teacher. I'm a co-teacher. I work in a science classroom with a very animated teacher, and we get to play with a lot of toys and do a lot of activities in that class. But I also teach a more grammar-based class on my own, and that's English for academic purposes. So when I decided to do my COETAIL Course 5 project, I decided to focus on integrating technology into this class for speakers of other languages. So, in teaching English as an additional language, we focus on the 4 domains of language: speaking, listening, reading, and writing. I personally like to place a lot of emphasis on speaking, so I wanted my COETAIL project to deal with spoken English. I thought about it quite a bit, and I kept remembering how Jeff Udick suggested meshing your personal interests with your professional interests. And my current social media tool of choice is Vine videos. And if you don't know what Vine is, Vine allows users to create very short videos, 6-7 second long videos. And once you post them to the Vine website, they repeat. They repeat. They repeat, and they keep repeating. And they're a lot of fun. And I thought that this would be a great medium for my students to kind of use their English to communicate. And the fact that Vine is very easy to use and that the videos require very little editing, that it would be a great way to encourage them to record their voices, to listen to their voices, and to think about how they could improve their English. So, what was the problem? The problem was that was my only idea. I didn't have any way to kind of expand this idea of using Vine. And another problem was you have to be 14 years old to be a Vine user. So couldn't use that idea. Not only did I realize that my Vine idea was half-baked, but I also realized that I needed to go back and really identify what standards that I wanted to address. So I decided to start with WIDA. WIDA Consortium is a group that creates assessments for English language learners, and they also provide a set of language-based standards. So I went in and I looked for speaking standards, and I found that WIDA has English development standards that are linked to the Common Core State Standards for English Language Arts. And I found a standard that asks students to report on a topic or a text, tell a story, or recount an experience in an organized manner, using appropriate facts, relevant, descriptive details to support main ideas or themes, speaking clearly at an understandable pace. And then it says, add audio recordings and visual displays to presentations when appropriate to enhance the development of main ideas or themes. Bing! And this made me think, what a great opportunity to teach kids how to use Zen presentation kind of ideas. What would be my topic? How could I engage kids? How could I get them interested? So what does everybody like to talk about? Everybody likes to talk about themselves, and everybody likes to talk about where they come from. Luckily for me, I was using a textbook called Fundamentals of Academic Writing, and there is a unit in the textbook about hometowns, and the unit culminates with a paragraph writing activity for which the students must write a paragraph describing where they come from. So instead of having students write a paragraph about their hometown, I decided to have them speak about their hometown. So they would speak about their hometown in a recorded presentation that they would make. And another great thing about the hometown topic is that it plays into AISC's vision of international mindedness. Having students create presentations on their hometowns and share those with their classmates, it would help reinforce a strong sense of their own cultural identity, and it would build empathy in their classmates, not to mention providing them with a very familiar topic that they would feel comfortable communicating about. Our school, and the middle school specifically, uses Moodle pretty heavily. So I created an assignment on Moodle to help guide students through the process of making this presentation. I gave them steps that they could follow, and I wrote a rubric that laid out all of the communication goals I wanted them to achieve. We talked about what copyright means, and we talked about how we can search Google for images that are labeled for non-commercial reuse.
I learned that all the pictures are not, like, we can't take all of them.
Using pictures responsibly was a little bit hard to find what kind of picture I wanted, but it was good because we don't want to steal another people's picture.
Right. I created my own hometown presentation in order to model how to effectively use images responsibly. Salisbury is in the middle of a big peninsula. A peninsula is an area of land almost completely surrounded by water. The Atlantic Ocean is to the east of the peninsula. It was also a way to personally connect with my students. I think that having a strong connection between the teacher and the learner is very important. To greet me in Salisbury, Maryland. I love you, Mom and Dad. I also taught students how to make screencasts using Screencastify and how to put subtitles into their YouTube videos. I put tutorials on the Moodle page for students who were absent or students who needed to review how to do either of those things. The subtitles actually ended up factoring into my rubric in that I graded students on the clarity of their speaking by whether or not I had to turn the subtitles on and for how long I had to keep those subtitles on.
Hi, my name is Asuka. My hometown is Kanagawa.
My students ended up turning in a really nice set of projects. They included a lot of great imagery, and I learned quite a bit about the places that they came from.
There are many temples and shrines in Kanagawa.
Hello, my name is Andrea Martins. My hometown is in France. This is the town hall of September.
Hi, I'm Min-jae Kim. My hometown is Gyeongju. Gyeongju has many attractions. This is a picture of famous place Bulguksa. It is one of the attractions.
Once they had completed their projects, students put links to their videos on their ePortfolio blogs. Then they put links to their blogs onto a shared Google map. In the shared Google map, students had pinned their hometowns. So now all the presentations were centrally located, and I was able to view them, students were able to view their peers' videos, and I was able to share this map out. So the middle school core teachers were also able to then visit this Google map and hear presentations by their English language learners. This was really a nice aspect of the project because often the English language learners are too self-conscious to speak in class, and this was a time for them to really have their voices be heard. To make sure that the videos were shared sufficiently, I assigned each student 3 other students' videos to watch. After watching the videos, they used a Google form to evaluate the video. In asking my students to evaluate their classmates' videos, I provided yet another meaningful context for my English language learners to practice their language skills. With reference to the SAMR model, I think that throughout the project, we achieved substitution, augmentation, and modification of classroom tasks. One way where we may have actually reached redefinition was at the very end of the project. I asked students to invite friends or family from their hometowns to meet with us via Skype. My students prepared questions for our Skype visitors and held interviews to learn more about the hometowns. Students seemed to really enjoy this, and it gave them the chance to practice speaking English in a realistic context. Holding these video interviews with people from around the world is something that we would not have been able to do before we had this technology.
Et l'été et le printemps, il y a du soleil.
I think that one of the big things that I learned from doing this project was that I had to really establish what I wanted to teach content-wise before I tried to shoehorn technology into it. Early on, as I mentioned before, I'd identified Vine as a tool that I really wanted to use in the classroom, but I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. So when I went back and looked at the standards that I really needed to address in my class, the uses of technology became a lot clearer to me. I also learned that when you're using technology, you really have to front load a lot of that information. We assume that our students know how to use technology, but in fact, a lot of students don't know how to upload videos to YouTube or make a screencast. So these are things that we have to explicitly teach in class and provide the support for. I was really apprehensive about my COETAIL project. I didn't know what I was going to do, but now that it's finished, I think that it's a project that I will use for years to come. Teacher at the Chena. Hi, my name is Rob. So that's why I hate making video screencasts. I'm using the. I thought a lot about that I might have about somebody's new town. Or sorry. I came so that they could see